A submarine has no friends. Once you hit that open water, you're on your own. If you get in trouble, you're alone. You don't get no help. Got no help from nobody.
Growing up on a farm in La Crosse, Wisconsin during the Great Depression, Archie Holte worked 10 hours a day, 7 days a week for a mere pay of $20 a month. Many teenagers in America were left in a similar situation, looking and working for a better way to achieve their American dream.
And back then, none of us farm kids went to high school. So I hadn't given it all that much thought, just a kid growing up, you know. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't want to stay on the farm.
The surprise attacks on Pearl Harbor left ill-equipped America stunned, but also gave way for America's victory. The United States forces were a reflection of the nation's isolationist views of the time, with its people stuck in a seemingly endless cycle of poverty. The devastating attacks on Pearl Harbor, where over 2,400 Americans gave their lives, set a catalyst for the transformation of a new America, and it was to be led by the bright-eyed, ambitious youth of the 1940s.
It seemed kind of like a fairy tale when I first heard it, you know. Didn't know if you believe it or not, you know. But then at that time it didn't register what it was. I didn't even know where Pearl Harbor was. But as time went on, well, you got adjusted to it and you realized what was going on. That's all we thought about for the whole next year.
Although the forces were fully willing to throw themselves into battle, they quickly learned that there was no simple path to victory.
Most of the guys was schoolboys like I was. A lot of them was. And you can see it in the book, but it's different when you have to do it. I had no idea what to do. So you got to run the speed of the boat. You had to pick it up. We was going through Lombok Strait in Australia, and you'd have to go through at night, try to sneak through. It was very narrow. The water was just like glass. And we was in only 160 feet of water. And he'd seen our periscope. He'd made a couple of runs on us, dropped 10 of them each time right on top of us. And I think he was a depth charge factory. So if he'd have probably made another pass on her, he'd have blown that hatch off. But it started to rain. Rain hitting the water, they couldn't hear on their sonar gear. And we got away from water. We never would have survived that.
World War II, the moment in time when America and its greatest contribution to the world, liberty, was at its most fragile point. This was the moment in time when America's most ambitious citizens left their mark on the world like no generation before. The American youth's longing to create a life for themselves worth remembering made it their mission to provide the rest of the world with the same opportunity. Fully set against the chains of tyranny, the greatest generation overcame the naiveness of childhood to face the harsh realities of war and free the world to hear the call of justice, freedom, and liberty.
That Pearl Harbor is what kicked it off. That ticked everybody off. I mean, that really, if they wouldn't have bombed Pearl Harbor like that, well, maybe it might have been different, but that really set things off. We wasn't prepared. But they've been training for years, but then we paid the price for it. You know, it scared the devil out of everybody. You couldn't understand it, you know, it shouldn't have been. It wasn't supposed to be. War ain't no piece of cake, you know. We was attacked, and I mean, we was defending ourselves, and World War II was completely different. And you can't imagine what that harbor looked like when it went in there. My God, them big ships laying on their sides in there, just, but we wasn't expecting it. We wasn't prepared for it. Because Japan would have took us. It would have been a lot different story. Well, I had a different attitude, I did. I mean, I don't know if the country was different, but I was. I wanted to go and do something anyway. I wanted to get off that farm. I had a completely different outlook on life than when I left it. Seen reality, I guess.